In our first season in the Como rebuild, we managed to avoid relegation and we did so comfortably, finishing mid-table. In this second season, we want to build on that and try and get into Europe. That's going to be the goal. We also got knocked out in the semi-finals last year of the Italian Cup, so if we could go to the final this year, that will be even better. Obviously, we've got quite an old squad at this point, a lot of people in their late kind of 20s, early 30s, so could be a bit of a rebuild, needs to be done every season, but we definitely need to get some younger players in this season. We are Cesc Fabregas, so the focus will be primarily on Spanish players, but it's just pretty much anyone that will improve us. So we have done plenty of transfers. Let's go through the players that are leaving. As you can see, we have made 70 million in outgoings and spent 51. So there's been quite a bit of rebuilding going on. We sold a lot of those players that we kind of just loaned out last year. A lot of them were just obviously went out on loan. And the big ones to pick out, Patrick Catrone was very much just a second choice striker for us. Scored 6 goals in the league. We got an offer from Sassuolo for 3.3 million. Sassuolo just recently promoted. So he's went to there. Seri, another one, just kind of rotation. He's went to Empoli for 1.4 mil. Barber, one of our centre-backs, just got to Genoa for 725k. And then the big one, Rafa Varane, unfortunately has left the club. Now, it is a massive, massive fee that's really set up a lot of our spending, but we won't be able to bring in a player of this ability. That's just the way it is. We can't bring in a player of Rafa Varane's quality, so unfortunately, I think he's actually retired in real life, but he has went to Al Hilal on 1.1 million a week. I don't blame him, because I think it's on like 50k here a week, so it's a massive upgrade in wages. So for 45 million, rising to 54, we couldn't turn it down. He would have kicked off if we said no as well. Francis Coquelin, one of those we brought in last year, he's went to Lens, back to his home country. Federa, one of those sort of rotation players, he's went to Belgium for 1.6 million. And then Christian Teo, a bit of a hero last year, he's went to Cadiz for 3.7 million. He wanted a new contract. He's not really good enough to be a huge starter for us now. He wanted a contract. We didn't want to give him a big wage increase, so he's went back to Spain for 3.3 mil. And the last one of the outgoings that's of note, Strafetta, again, just another one of those rotation players. 9 goal contributions last year. Not terrible, not great. So he's went to Brest for 2.5 million. And now for the incomings. A couple of Englishmen have come in. First one we already knew about, Josh Brownhill. He joined on a free transfer. Next up is Chris Smalling, who is no stranger to the Serie A after playing 4 seasons at Roma, formerly obviously of Man United. He comes in on a free transfer on a 1-year deal for 29 grand a week. Andre Franco was another one that we looked at last year. He joins us from Porto. He was transfer listed by Porto for 1.9 million. I think he looks quite good. I'm surprised he was on the transfer list, so he joins us. And another ex-Man United man, Eric Bailly, joins us on a free transfer after leaving Villarreal, formerly obviously of Man United as well, so he'll be partnering up with his old teammate Chris Small, and he joins us on a 2-year deal at 22.5 grand a week. We then made our first signing of this window, Tommaso Pogba, not Pogba. God, I can barely say it. Pogba, not Pogba, it's Pogba, is weird relation. He joins us for 3.7 million from Milan. He looks like a really good player. He's going to be our new ball-winning midfielder. Partnering up next to him most likely, or maybe just rotating with him, is Matthias Brauneder. I'm not really sure on what happened there, so he seemed to actually be a player for us. Did I sell him last year? I don't know if I did. I might have actually sold him, because I bought him back for 2.9 million, but we got 30% of that back on a sell-on clause, so it didn't really matter. Not really sure what's happened there. For whatever reason, Riccardo Calafiori was on the loan list at Arsenal. They clearly didn't want to play him. He's played once, scored once, and never got another game. What a season. So he joins us on a £1.5 million loan deal. There's a huge optional fee, but we won't be able to afford that. So he comes in as our new left back. And then we've got our first wonder kid of the rebuild. Anan Kalali joins us on a £14 million move from Union SG in Belgium, formerly of Maccabi Haifa in Israel. He is very, very good. I think he has a release clause. Yeah, he's got a release clause for clubs in the Champions League of 63 million. So if we made that kind of money anyway, we'd be laughing. He looks great. He's going to be our new wonder kid. Very happy to get him. And then we've got a new goalkeeper. Santiago Mele is formerly of... Apparently, he's apparently an Italian as well. So he doesn't actually count as non-EU. Not sure how that works, because he's pretty much been in Uruguay his whole life. He spent one season on loan in Spain. Not sure. He's played for a few different clubs, but we actually got him from a team called Junior in Colombia for £2 million. He looks very good, consistent, Good statistics, happy with that. Another loan in, Luka Jovic. We really struggle to bring permanent players in, so loans, even with the money we've got from Varane, loans has been the way to go. So we signed him on a loan deal from Milan, obviously formerly of Benfica, had that really good season for Frankfurt, then went to Real Madrid and kind of didn't really do much. So he comes in as our new loanee. We do have an optional fee of 4.8 million if we wanted to take it up with him, but I don't think he actually wants to sign permanently. Another permanent transfer is Edgar. He joins us from Almeria for £8 million after they spent 3.9, so a nice bit of profit for them. He comes in as one of our new centre-backs, 6'4" Spaniard, you gotta love that. And then this one I might have actually messed up. Connor Bradley comes in. Now I thought because he was under 21 at the time of the registration, he would be I wouldn't have to register him because we were out of the non-EU players with him being Northern Irish. But apparently that's not the case. Well, if we can't play him, then we spent 4.3 million on nothing, and hopefully he gets recalled and we don't pay all of that. But that's a little bit annoying if we have kind of messed that up. Oh, might have been a mistake there. But then the last one is Angel Alacon. He joins us on loan from Barcelona for the season. We paid a little bit of a fee there, but not too much. He looks really good. He's going to be obviously our third choice sort of winger. So this is very much the team that I think we're going to be playing this season. You probably put Belotti in for Colombo. Did I mention Colombo? I don't think I did. Lorenzo Colombo is on loan from Milan. Was he not in this? I think I might have missed over him. Lorenzo Colombo, he comes in on loan from Milan. He spent last year on loan at Empoli, got 10 goals in the league, so going to be a decent little option for us. So we've got plenty of options up front now. So I think this is the team that we're going to go with. I think Belotti probably comes in for Colombo, but then you'll have Jovic, Kalali and Franco on the wing, Lopez and Popka in the middle, Calafiori at left back, Cassandra at right back, Edgar and Bailly in the middle, and Santiago Mele up front. Season preview wise, the media think we're going to finish around 12th, which would be mid-table. I want us to try and get into Europe. It is quite tight. There's a lot of good teams in this league, so it is going to be hard. I think this is going to take a multiple episode rebuild to do, but I'm quite happy with the squad. I do think we've downgraded a little bit at centre back, but I think overall the team is massively upgraded. I think across all the different units of the team, I think we've improved. Right back does stick out like a sore thumb, which is why we kind of got Connor Bradley, but I don't know if we'll be able to play him or not because he still shows us can't register him. The only way we can register him is if we sell a non-EU. I did sell a non-EU, but I think signing Kalali messed that up, even though, again, he's not registered because he's under 21. So I don't really know how it works, the non-EU stuff. It doesn't seem to be related to the registration you do for Serie A. So that's kind of annoying. I don't know. Not sure. But anyway, this is the team. I think it's going to be really good. We're going to go play some matches, hopefully have a good start to the season. We haven't, unlike last season where we had a bit of a tough run, we don't have anyone too scary in the first 5 or so games. But basically till Milan, this first 6 games, I think we could get a good little run going. So fingers crossed we can do that. So we kickstarted our second season once again with the Italian Cup, and it actually took until very late in extra time for us to get the winner. Anthony Martial coming on as a sub put us past the Serie B side, and I think that kind of worries me that it takes that long for us to beat a Serie B side. We should be walking these, but not a great start from some of the new boys. Our league season then got underway with a draw against Empoli. We did go 1-0 up, Luka Jovic getting his first goal for the club, but unfortunately in the second half, Empoli did get one back. So just the draw and just the first point. It was a good ball played in behind for the Empoli striker to get on the end too. So just the draw to get us started this year. But that's better than last year where we lost the opening game of the league. We then managed to finally get our first win of the season. It came in the third game. We did draw the second game as well. We did win this one 4-3 against Sassuolo. We went 1-0 up there, and then from the corner on the second one, Lopez does really well. Actually, the corner taker who just comes through and just smashes it in. Sassuolo did get plenty of goals themselves with it being a 4-3 game. So it was good to see that we were scoring, but defensively, I mean, what is the goalkeeper doing there? That is diabolical, but we have this pressing style that worked there. Luka Jovic doing really well just to nip in front. Unfortunately, there was an own goal conceded from ourselves, but so definitely we've got a little bit of work to do defensively. It was just a ball across the box. There was no one there, and Edgar, one of the new boys, puts it in the back of the net. But we do look a little bit dangerous from set pieces. Edgar made up for his mistake not too long after the own goal, and we did go 4-2 up. Sassuolo would get themselves a late goal as well to make it 4-3, but it didn't matter in the end as we did get our first 3 points and our first win of the season. We then played one of the newly promoted sides, Palermo. I think they're one of the newly promoted sides. Sassuolo were definitely newly promoted, but I'm pretty sure Palermo as well. Unfortunately, we actually lost this game 3-1. We did go behind in the game. We brought it back with a Jovic goal, who's seemingly pretty much the only person who's actually scoring for us at the minute. And even he hasn't been amazing. But yeah, very disappointing result this, because he would expect us to be winning these games. And I do think, I feel like we just haven't made much progress. I don't know if it's like the database, because it's like a custom database. I think the contract dates are a little bit weird. Maybe I should have done simulated a year in advance. It just seems like there's not a lot of players that are actually out of contract, so you really can only sign players through transfers and loans. So actually rebuilding the squad's been a little bit harder now. Saying that, we have moved a ton of players on and brought a lot of players in, but not really many free transfers. But yeah, I'm not sure. It does seem a little bit different to the players, the sort of the number of players that you'd expect to be free. But maybe it's because I didn't load enough leagues. I'm not sure. But these are just excuses. Either way, with the side we have, we should be doing a lot better in these games. So that does mean our start to the season has been very odd. A lot of draws. We do a lot of 1-1 draws, which shows that we're not really scoring enough, but we're not really conceding loads. Just the one game where we conceded. We conceded 3 in the win as well, actually. Weirdly enough, the win and the loss were both 3 goals. But we are sitting mid-table, and I mean, that's kind of what the board wants. I really want us to push on, though. I want us to get into the top 6, into the top 7, and get into Europe, because I think that's going to be the turning point for us to actually increase our reputation and start to do a bit better. But I think this might take more videos than I was expecting. I was thinking maybe 3 or 4. We might be more looking at 5 or 6 seasons to win a title, but you never know. These things can change quite quickly as well. Maybe we need to have a look at players and formations maybe, but yeah, not the best start. I think given the teams that we've played, I thought we were going to kind of win most of these, to be honest with you. So we've got quite a tough run coming up, so I would have rather have gotten better results here, because I think it's going to get even worse coming into the next few games, to be honest. Well, we knew it was going to be a bit of a tougher month, and it definitely seemed to prove that, as we did take on AC Milan, who did win 2-0, goals from Tomori at the corner. We do score a few goals from set pieces, but we do seem to concede a few as well. We tried our best to defend it there, but the ball just fell to Reinders, who smashed it in the back of the net. And I think, like I was saying, we wanted to get off to a better start, because we knew that these kind of games are pretty much write-offs, because I don't think Milan have lost one when they played us. But despite feeling like these games are sometimes a little bit out of our reach, we did go away to Juventus. We were helped by a sending off, to be fair, but we did end up winning 2-1, goals from Kalali, who I have to say, the little Israeli wonder kid's been terrific. We did concede one late on, but it wouldn't have mattered in the end, because we did win the game 2-1, a great result against a very struggling Juventus side this year. Well, the games just don't come much easier in Serie A. We just keep getting tough opponents, and this month we had to play Lazio, Milan and Juventus all in the same month. Thankfully, we actually got 4 points out of that, which I think if you offered me that before those games, I'd definitely be taking it. It didn't look like we were going to get off to the greatest start. Quite a few goals came down Lazio's way, as you can see. This was one of them here, and we do seem to be conceding a little bit more than we have done in probably last season, but we're okay. We do okay, I guess. We're scoring more maybe as well. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm not really been looking at the stats, but for some reason I can't see the goals on the little highlight thing, so I don't actually know where we are. But anyway, regardless, I have to say that some of the more standout players have definitely been Luka Jovic. Kalali's been good, and Alcason, when he's came off, it has not been bad as well. Franco's been okay. I was expecting maybe a tad bit more. Haven't really seen the best of Belotti or Colombo, to be honest. Belotti's been injured multiple times, so we've not really seen him in the games too much. Lopez has still been good. Edgar's been good as well at the back. Goalkeeper's been okay as well. So I was expecting more from Calafiori as well, to be totally honest with you, which is maybe why he's been frozen out of the Arsenal side. We ended the month though in style, as we did get a 3-0 win over Udinese. Great goal, great finish from Jovic. One thing I can confirm, we have made that loan sign of Jovic permanent, so he's going to join us next window. So I always thought they joined in January if they were on loan and then you sign them on permanent, but apparently he's joining in the summer, so I didn't realise that's how it worked. I just assumed they joined at the next window, but Jovic is going to be a permanent player, and thankfully I think it's a good idea that we have got him, because he's been banging them in, and we did beat Udinese 3-0 there. Teresiano Terriciano, who's also on loan with a future fee. We have agreed that as well. So when we get to January, we'll take a look at. We'll take a look in January. What those deals will be. Actually, no, we'll have to take a look next season, won't we? Because I won't join till then. But just to let you know, they are going to finish their loans up, and then they will be made permanent next season. Weirdly enough, at the month with the tougher games, I would say, this 2 month of games has definitely been harder than the first 2 months of games, but we've definitely had some better results. Got 4 league wins, just the 2 losses, 1 to Milan, again, not too bad. We did lose, 1 to Bologna, that's a disappointing result. And the draw against Lazio, not bad at all, so really only the 1 bad result in there. That all means we've climbed up to 6th in the tables. A couple of teams, Lazio and Roma, who've got games in hand, so probably won't be sitting 6th for long, but we're in around the Europe spot, and that's where we need to be. As you can see, Milan pretty much running away with it. A couple teams probably trying to catch them, but some very disappointments this year. Juventus have sacked their manager and brought Zidane to the club, so that's cool. He's gone back to Juve. Other than that, I guess Roma and Lazio are really the only teams down here who are kind of not doing as well as expected. No one really in the top 6, really, you wouldn't, you'd be shocked to see in there. So probably only us really that I'd probably expectating. Over-expectating? That's not a word, that's not even a phrase. Overachieving. Juventus definitely underachieving. Atalanta probably underachieving as well. Bottom 3, that's pretty much who you'd expect. So I think we're doing okay. We obviously need to keep that going on now. We'll get through December, we'll get through January. We'll obviously show some highlights and look at hopefully some of the transfers we'll be able to do. Well, it feels like things are coming together quite nicely. We had an away trip to Atalanta. We did go a goal down, but it didn't really affect us. We got back on level terms in the first half. A corner knocked back and forth a few times there. Lopez plays it back to Edgar, the centre-back, with a striker's finish. Lovely, lovely finish. First time there. Calafiori on the throw-in. This time on the left-hand side. Crosses one into the back stick, and our wonder kid, Kalali, finished it to put us in the lead. We then extended our lead. Once again, Kalali, goal scorer, turn and provider this time. Played it into Colombo. It was a block initially, but he got onto the rebound and finished it to make it 3-1. We then sealed the win with a very nice goal at the end. Unai Lopez plays it through to Pogba, who just smashes it, places it really, but with power, into the bottom left-hand corner. And we did go out of Atalanta with a 4-1 win. As much as we do look improved this year, I do think we are similar, probably really a similar quality side as we were last year. I think we've lost, obviously, Rafa Varane, who's probably was our best player, but it was obviously a lot of money. But we obviously can't attract that level of player. And this just amplifies it, obviously, as you can see, getting absolutely whacked by Roma. 3-0 win for the Roman side, I guess you could call them. I don't know, do people call them that? I don't know. But yeah, just look at the stats. We got absolutely battered. Away from league action, we are very much progressing in the cup still. We did beat Sassuolo in the cup, and then we beat Lazio 1-0, Belotti with the goal. We did get a man sent off, but it didn't matter. We managed to hold on to the 1-0 win, and we will be progressing to the quarterfinals of the Italian Cup. Unfortunately, January was not the kindest month in terms of results. We really didn't get going this month, and we have fell down the table. Our European hopes look like they could be getting dashed this season. I really think, once again, if we are to get Europe this year, it's very much going to have to be through the cup. I just don't see us getting into that top 6. It's probably the hardest European. It's the hardest league to break into Europe, I think. Maybe that in England, but there's usually always 1 or 2 English teams have a drop off. It doesn't seem like it's the case in Italy, at least not in these 2 years that we've been there. We did score a couple of goals again. Belotti getting in amongst the goals. He's really been poor, but these last couple of games he's scored a few, so it makes him look like he's doing quite well. But we did lose, unfortunately, 3-2 to Sassuolo, which again, I just think we should be beating these teams, and we're just not. So I don't know what the issue is. I think the quality of our squad is fine. I think we could obviously do with some better defenders. But I don't know. I think Franco has just been a disappointment as well, and hopefully we have addressed that in the window. So as you can see, recent results not looking great in the league. We have lost 3 in a row to sides we should be getting at least draws against: Genoa, Empoli and Sassuolo. That's very poor. That means we have dropped down to 11th in the league table, which, the board are happy with, and it's perfectly fine for us. We just, this is where we finished last year. We finished 11th, so it's not too bad. We're still in the quarterfinals. We're still in the cup. We're in the quarterfinals now against the Serie B side, so we should hopefully be getting to at least the semis once again. And it looks like we're pretty much just going to repeat what we did last year. So we are slowly but steadily building, but it's not really showing in the results, I think, just yet. In terms of transfers, we can take a look, obviously, at some of the work we've done. Not too many exits. Anthony Martial, yeah, he's just not really doing anything. He's went to Burnley. He's got 2 and 4 in the Premier League. So yeah, maybe I just don't know how to use these players, but he's not doing much. He wasn't doing much for us, so he's moved on. Josh Brownhill, another one, just wasn't really playing. He's went to the Premier League and he's done awful. He just wasn't playing. So yeah, we don't need him. We've got plenty midfield. He's a non-EU player as well, so we actually signed him, barely played him, and sold him on for 6 million, so I'm not really going to complain there. In terms of incomings, another exit actually was Calafiori. His loan deal got recalled by Arteta because we weren't playing him in the correct role. I hate that. That would never happen in real life, unless you're talking like playing someone wing back to right back, or playing someone on the wing when you want them to be playing as a striker. That I understand, but playing as an inverted wing back versus a wing back, like come on, that's just ridiculous. I just don't think that would ever happen. But we have made a couple signings. The first one was Alex Telles. We actually got him on a pre-contract, but then when you get the little finish the pre-contract thing, you can ask to buy now, and they only wanted 1.2 million, so I agreed with it. Weirdly enough, I thought he was going to be non-EU, but he's actually got Italian nationality as well. Don't know how he's got that. I don't know where he's got that from, because he's Brazilian and spent time in Turkey. So I don't know where he got that. But he looks quite good. He is getting on a little bit now, so he's on a big wage packet on a few years though, so maybe not the best deal, but technically he's very, very good. So we needed another left back with Calafiori going back. The next loan in, one loan out, one loan in, but we've brought Facundo Pellistri in. If you saw the Plymouth rebuild, you'd be fairly familiar with him. Hasn't really been playing much, so we're hopefully going to give him some game time. He looks quite good. He's got a few more years left at his Man United deal, so I don't think it'll be anything we'll be looking to actually sign him on a permanent, especially not with his valuation. But you never know. You never know for the future. And the last one is Nicolo Tresoldi, Italian striker. He was spending time over in Hanover, absolutely banging goals in the second division, playing really well. So we've brought him in on a £9.25 million release clause deal. He joins us as a very decent Serie A player. I think he's got big potential, as you can see there. Big long deal. He's going to be our Belotti replacement long term, but for now he's obviously going to be second choice. So that means that we've got obviously all that to do. Just a few more months left of the year. It just seems to fly by, to be honest. It just seems we're so up and down. We go on little runs. We go on little runs of good games, and we go on little runs of not winning. I mean, we haven't won. We haven't won the league in a while. Oh, actually, no, Torino. I was going to say, but it's not good still. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just think, it's not good. It started okay, then it got better, now it's got worse. Hopefully it'll get better again. We're just so up and down, but I guess that, you can see kind of on the league position, we're just up and down, but it doesn't matter. We'll kick on. I just don't see us getting Europe again, so it does feel like a bit of a same old season, but I do think we're building. It's just that some of the players are younger. Once they come good, we have been improving facilities as well, so I'm hoping that that'll help. Obviously, players like Kalali will be improving, and I mean, he's going to be terrific once all of his stats come in. So I think, Jovic obviously coming in on a permanent, that'll be good. We just need to replace some of the older players, like Tresoldi needs to come in for Belotti eventually. I just think we're okay. I just think I don't know, we need that extra quality in just certain positions to just go up to that next level. I think a really good goalkeeper, some really good fullbacks. To be honest, the centre-backs are okay, so I'm not sure why we concede so many goals. Maybe some really good wingers or something. I don't know. I don't know what we're missing. I think the squad's really good. I think the Serie A it's just a strong league. I think it is, because our squad's quite good and we're all the way down in 13th. So I just think, I think it's a strong league, and I think there's a lot of money in the league that we just don't have at the minute. So it's looking tough, but I think the worst we'll do is mid-table. You got to remember, last year we were in a relegation fight and then ended up mid-table at the end. So if we can finish mid-table and then you never know, push into 7th or something, that could happen. Again, we're still in the cup. There's some big teams left, but there's no AC Milan, there's no Inter. There is Napoli, so they'd probably be the favourites, I think, at that point. Napoli and Roma, probably. Fiorentina is still in there, so but there's still some not so great teams as well. So I do think we've got a chance if we can get to the semis and then maybe get Parma Venezia, the winner of that. You never know. We could have another final on our hands. Well, another semi-final, should I say. So after not winning too many games in our last couple months in the league, we really need to get one today. We did have a home fixture against Parma. We did go 1-0 up from a set piece. They then capitalised on some pretty poor defending from Alex Telles. Just got caught on the ball, caught napping, and Parma equalled it up. They did then lead the game through a great goal. I looked a little bit offside to me, but there was just no one covering on the right-hand side, and they did go 2-1 up. Late in the second half, in the 75th minute, we did manage to pull one back. Lopez with a lovely ball through to Jovic, who's definitely been our best player this year, especially in terms of goals. He got us level. We then went a goal up after the equaliser. Tresoldi, one of the new boys, coming in, and he scores a winner in the 81st minute to get us the 3 points, and that was a massive 3 points that we needed. More league action now, again at home. This time we took on the pink shirts of Palermo as Franco cut in onto the left-hand side, smashed it in the top corner. It was Franco again. We're linking up with Alex Telles. Franco knocks it in after some deflections. It kind of just bobbled around, but Jovic there, who's been absolutely lethal this year, put us 2-0 up. And then for the third goal, our right-back Cassandro linking up down the right-hand side. Some lovely play there as Belotti's through on goal, and he's smashed it into the left-hand side. And we did beat Palermo 3-0. Zidane's Juventus turned up to our space, and they did get a very early goal, which they probably felt was going to be a good game for them. Vlahovic put them 1-0 up, but it didn't take long for us to equalise. Eric Bailly fighting for it there as it falls to Jovic, and I mean, yeah, what a signing he's going to be for just £4 million next summer. We then took the lead. Kalali does really well to just win the ball back, and it falls to Pellistri, one of our obviously loan players we signed in January. He put us 2-1 up. We then continued our lead with a third, as you can see, Terracanio, not sure. He plays it through. Pellistri then played it through, and Alaston, our on loan Barca winger, put us ahead to make it 3. We then scored a fourth from the set piece. Big Edgar getting his big Spanish noggin on it. And we did walk out 4-1 victors over Zidane's Juventus. We had an away trip to Bologna, and I think the result pretty much sums up where we are. We did go 1-0 up again from a set piece. We seem to be quite good from those, but it didn't take just too long into the second half for Bologna to grab their equaliser. Some great play there. Defenders just sitting off far too much space for the Bologna attacker there to get his shot on goal. They then would score a winner in the 77th minute, or 76th minute, sorry. Some great play there down the right-hand side, and again, just not covering players, just not getting those tackles in, not intercepting either, so really poor defending from us. And again, it highlights the inconsistency I think we do have in the squad, where we can go on these good runs that we can get results, but I just think we lack the consistency to really end up in a good position this year. So as you can see, the last 2 months overall, though, have actually been quite good. Just the losses to Bologna and Fiorentina there. Everything else has been a win. A couple of draws in there. The Brianza draw, that's kind of poor. Milan, though, that's a very good result. Beaten lots of teams that we should be beating. Beaten Lazio as well as Juventus, so some really good results in there. So I'm quite happy. As you can see, we also beat Parma 1-0 in the first leg of the Italian Cup as well, so we're very much looking like we could be getting to the final. Don't forget, last year we beat Milan 1-0 in the first leg. We then went and lost 5-0, I think, in the second leg, so we definitely not going to get too ahead of ourselves, but with just 2 months left of the season, it's looking okay. I think we're in very good of a shout of getting to a final, so we'll be definitely doing the final as a live game if we get there. And we're really not too far off Europe. I think if we can, I definitely think Parma will be the ones to drop out here. I think if anyone's going to take that 7th spot, it's going to be Roma. Obviously, Juventus are just breathing down our necks as well, so it's definitely going to be tough to qualify for Europe through the league this year, I think, unless we get some co-efficiency thing. We might get an extra spot. That might be the only time we might get 8th. But I do think most likely that if we do get Europe, it's going to be through the Cup. So we've got 2 seasons left, so we'll probably play maybe the next month, and then we'll probably come back after that and see where we are. So just the 2 months left to go of the season when we kick the first month off in style with a massive win. Now, keep in mind these were bottom of the league, so it's not, it's not beating Milan, who are top of the table 6-2, but it's good to see us scoring some goals at least. We did concede 2, which again is just disappointment. I think, I don't know, we're just a little bit poor at the back. I don't know whether it's the centre-backs or the full-back. I think the full-backs are not good enough. I think the goalkeeper maybe. I think just in general, I mean, their goalkeeper looked terrible. That was a pathetic save. I think I could have stopped that one. But nevertheless, we did get 6 goals, and it's nice to see them being spread out across the various players as well. Luka Jovic, once again, being one of the key players. This time, he turned provider this time to Belotti, who's, been a little bit more of a rotation player this year. Hasn't been as much of a star starter, especially since Tresoldi come in, but he's done very well with the time he has been given. And one thing I think we do need to address in the summer is probably the fullbacks. I mean, both of our left backs rather on the older side of their careers and probably not so great anymore. Obviously Marino leaving in the summer as well, so it'll be interesting to see. And I've just skipped back here so you can kind of see what's happened, but I don't know why I've done that. I've just clicked back and I guess it's kind of just spoiled it. Anyway, well, that's kind of, whatever. We'll just roll with it. This is the only other highlight I was going to show you, because it's really been kind of lowlights in the league. We've really not kicked on from our good month. This is what I'm on about. It's just so inconsistent. We're up and down. So we did lose back-to-back league games. Udinese, that's terrible. They were down in 18th, so that was a terrible result. But then we beat Lazio 1-0. I don't know what happened in the second leg. We just can't seem to do well after a second leg. We were 2-0 up, and then the 90th minute, if they'd have won on penalties, it would have been an absolute crazy comeback for Parma. They scored a 90th minute and a 91st minute goal. How is that even possible from our kickoff? How have they got the ball back and scored in a minute? Thankfully, they missed a penalty and all of our players scored. Telles, Belotti, Franco, Jovic and Pogba all scored, which did put us through the final, but very risky. And we've only won one. We did play Roma in the league as well just before this cup game. We actually lost 4-2, so not a great setup for this final. But we do have our first live game of the rebuild. It is the Italian Cup final. We got to the semis last year, got knocked out by Milan, and with 2 games to go in the league, there is no way we can get into Europe. So if we are going to get into Europe, it's going to be like this. This is the team we've got in goal. Mele, a back four of Terracciano, Eric Bailly, Edgar and Alex Telles, Braunoda and Lopez in midfield, Pellistri on the right, Kalali on the left, Belotti and Jovic up top. We take on a very familiar Roma side, and I know all of these players, so they're all good quality players. Very scared of Dovbyk and Dybala and Zalewski. Cristante, Angelino, Jelic at fullback, they're good. Mancini at the back, Miles Villar in goal. Matty Ryan on the bench. Is he actually there in real life, or is that just a football manager signing? I mean, look at their bench compared to ours. Oh, it's great. I mean, it's huge, first of all, but nevertheless, we'll fingers crossed we can get something here. It would be absolutely terrific if we can go here and get our first piece of silverware. That's the formation. That's the lineup for Roma. Dybala playing where he would like to play, right behind the striker. They've gone with a 4-2-3-1. We are going with our regular 4-2-4. As you can see, form recently not really what you want coming into a final, but hey, there's been crazier finals. So let's not worry about it, and let's just go out and give it our best shot. As you can see, I think this is probably about as strong of a team as we can put out. So thankfully, we've not lost anyone. And Zalewski actually getting an early injury for Roma, and he's actually had to get substituted off. So nothing really happening just yet. Nearly 69,000 people here. There can't be that many Como fans. We only get about 7,000 at home, so it must be a lot of neutrals, or Roma's just absolutely filled the ground. Because that is a big attendance. It's been a very slow final this year. This game, just us doing anything. Pellistri not looking like he's playing his best. Alex Telles on a yellow card. He'll probably come off as well, because we definitely don't want to go down a man in the final. But we're doing all right. We're hanging in there, and I think that's. I mean, I don't want to downplay us, but I think that's kind of what we have to do in these finals. Is kind of if we are going to win something today, it's probably going to have to be a snatch and grab. I don't think we're going to come and beat Roma comfortably, but we've been the better side. I mean, barely, but we've still been the better side. I'm going to make a change. I'm going to bring Moreno on for Telles and take Pellistri off. We'll bring Alasson on, Alacon, our on-loan Barca winger. Let's get a little Spaniard scoring the winner for Fabregas and get him the cup. But this is a route into Europe as well. Don't forget that. The winner of this does get into the Europa League group stage as well. So it is pretty much our only opportunity to get Europe this year. But it looks like that might not be the case as Celic bursts through. And it's instead of looking for an option, he just strikes it straight into Mele's hands, who palms it out for a corner. Corner to Roma now. Pellegrini to whip in. He plays it on the edge of the box to Asprilla. Oh, and it's just one of them dodgy football manager corners. You can't do anything about them. You cannot do anything about them. It's played on the edge of the box, and Asprilla smashes it past Mele. 1-0 Roma, and that's all they'll need to do, because I don't think we're going to score. We look very, very poor today. Not done anything. Jovic having a terrible game, and he's been our main man. Anyway, we've got a highlight. Lopez looking for an option. maybe this is what the problem is. That kind of pass, he's just gone backwards when there was no need to. There was no pressure on him. Eric Bailly now, who, fair enough to Eric Bailly, he stayed fit all year. He's not had one injury, and that's not something he's used to doing. Belotti just losing the ball. He's coming off. I've just seen enough there. I've seen enough. He's going to come off, and looks like, Roma just going to catch it on the counter. Oh, Kalali, what have you done? Oh, before we can do anything, Anan Kalali's got himself sent off. Well, we're definitely going to have to take off a striker now. We'll take Belotti off. Jovic has scored more. We'll bring Franco on the left. I think that's us done. I don't think we get anything from this game now. We'll bring Pobga on for Lopez. We do have another right back. We'll bring Cassandro on as well. Oh, if we're going to get anything, it's going to be by pure luck because we're just down to 10 men now. It's not going the way I want. This rebuild is not going the way I want. Usually it wouldn't take this long to get going, but I'm telling you, Serie A is hard to break into Europe because there's just so many teams that are around the same level. There's no front runners in Serie A. There's no one who you definitely say every year is going to win the league. It's not like when Juventus were winning it every year now. It's definitely a little bit different, but it looks like we're just going to run out. We could go very attacking, but I don't think it would make a difference. We're down to 10 men. And Roma have got the one lucky goal from not lucky, it was a good corner. But just the one goal, that is a terrible final. What an absolutely awful final that was. One shot, one highlight in the whole game. The other highlight was a sending off. Go on, take your little trophy. Go on, I'm leaving. We're going out. I'm not watching it. Terrible. Awful, lads. Absolutely terrible. Did not even try. Terrible. Right. Well, that was a terrible cup final. The only highlight we had was a player getting sent off, which is, whatever. Oh, God. Well, at least we got some money for getting to the final. Hey. I am very critical. This is not true, but I'm not. I'm kind of Fabregas, so I guess I'll be uncritical, but I am critical because that was terrible. We still got the final. We're only expected to be a mid-table side, and that's what we have done, but nevertheless, we would have had to get to 6th in the league anyway because Roma didn't even finish. And this is what I mean. They've won the Italian Cup. They finished 9th. It's absolutely brutal getting into Europe. But then Sassuolo aren't very good. Aren't they newly promoted? What's this? Newly promoted and they finished 5th. I tell you what, the momentum in Football Manager, it's too strong. Oh, it's too strong. Anyway, well, they might not finish 5th because there's still 2 games to play. Forgot about that. We can't do anything, so we'll come back after the 2 games because, the highest we can go is 8th, and that's not going to be anything this year. So, another season without Europe. So, with the last 2 league games played, that does wrap up this season. As you can see in the league table, we finish exactly as we did last year in 11th place. I don't know if we got more points than last year. Maybe the rebuild historians can take a look. But we did go one step further in the cup. So hopefully next year we can go that one more step further as well and actually win it. Wouldn't that be nice? But hey, another good season under our belt. We're only expected to be mid-table. We're just about expectations. We need to just need to lose a lot less games. I mean, there's results in there we should be winning. We should be beating the likes of Udinese and Bologna and Sassuolo and Empoli and Genoa. These aren't losses, to massive teams. If you look at the wins, Napoli, Lazio, Juventus, we're beating some of the bigger sides. So I don't think the draws are too bad. Those are usually against better teams, as you can see. Draw against Inter, Milan, Lazio, Fiorentina, they're not terrible draws. Torino up there as well. So it's not like the draws are that bad, but the losses, they're not against good sides. Look at Udinese and Atalanta and Empoli in the league. They're all down there. So Genoa, nearly got relegated. So it's really quite disappointing that obviously we're losing to teams like Inter and Roma, who were good sides, but I don't know. I just think we're not beating the teams below us, and I think if we can get more wins there, we can absolutely climb into the top 6. So that's really where I think we need to aim for. I don't think 7th is ever going to be. It seems like the winner of the cup. A lot of the top teams don't really play their best players in the cup. But Milan won the league. We finished 11th, so we'll have to do again another season. I think it's going to be quite a few videos this rebuild because the goal is, I said, to win the league. So that's what we'll do. We'll be here till we do it. So definitely got a few players leaving us. Moreno's contract's out at the end of the year. I think he's the only one. Is there anyone else? Obviously, the loans are going. Chris Smalling is the other one. So the loans are going back. Obviously, Terracciano and Luka Jovic will be made permanent. So they'll be joining us on a permanent. But everyone else, obviously, the loans will all be going back. Conor Bradley not making an appearance because he's non-EU. There you go. So Overall, I think we've done well. I think we've got a squad that can kick on now. Obviously, we've got Kalali, Trizoldi with a lot of potential. I think the midfield's okay. I think we need another left back. I think we probably need another right back. Probably need a better goalkeeper. Maybe a better right mid and maybe a top quality striker as well. But we'll have to see what's available. Financially, we're okay. We'll probably get some, obviously we'll get our money from the league and stuff like that coming through. Sponsorship, all that stuff. So we should be around 5-6 million. But, I mean, we spend 2.5, more than nearly 3 million a month anyway, so I don't think the wage budget and the transfer budget is going to be huge, but we'll see all that in the next video. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all for Season 3 of the Como Fabregas rebuild very soon.